You are listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
This is Trevor Harris.
Hey, how you doing? This is number 58, Travis Bond.
This is Christoph Malomba Chimanga.
Hey there, this is your co-host, Kenny Stafford.
Hey, this is Ryan King.
Calvin McCarty.
And you are listening to...
You're listening to the Eskimos Empire.
Listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
The Eskimo Empire Podcast. Hope you guys enjoy listening.
Welcome back to the Turf District for the Eskimo Empire Podcast, and we are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. I'm Andrew, and I'm joined this week by superfan Mike.
How is it going?
It's going lovely.
Oh, is it?
Well, that was an amazing weekend. I can't wait to talk about it more.
Fantastic.
Lots of fun stories. Let's see who else is here first. Of course, Commissioner K. It's a good game.
Yeah, Robin!
Nice. That's a great way to start. Yeah, that was outstanding. And we have returning fan Jeremy. How you doing, man?
Sup?
Okay. Very good. Glad you worked that one out. That's good.
I practiced that for a week.
Awesome. Awesome. How was everyone's weekend? Everyone have a good weekend?
Great.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah? You were down in Cowville.
I was. The city of the cows.
Cowville?
Calgary.
Cowville? Did you say? Cowville?
Cowville.
Yes.
City of the cows.
That's right.
Sure. That's exactly
Yeah, I
right.
went down and went to a concert on Friday at the Stampede and then down to Lethbridge to visit family.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Jeremy, what were you up to this weekend? Watching football, I know that.
Watching football?
Yep.
Landscaping.
That's a great
Ooh.
weekend.
Yeah.
Sounds
Me and the ants, we were best buds.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? You're really into the ants?
Oh.
ANTS.
A-N-T-S.
Great.
Yes.
Glad we clarified
Clarifying.
that. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Commissioner?
Yeah. Samesies. Football, art walk, church.
Ooh.
It's all good.
Lovely.
Nice.
You see anything good at the art walk? I didn't get
Yes,
there,
I
so-
bought stuff.
Ooh, nice.
Check Instagram once in a while. You might see what it was.
All right, I should probably do that.
Yeah, you probably should.
I was like, because I was just sitting around all weekend. You think I'd have time to go through social media, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Abso.
Stop.
It was beautiful. Wasn't
Paul
it?
Reckner is going to pay for that so much.
Did you see him?
My. Yes.
At the game?
Yeah. So I went. Yeah. So I flew out to BC on Wednesday, and I had dinner with Paul and Dwayne Mandrusiak on Wednesday night.
Nice.
And that man can. I'm just fascinated with every story he tells.
Dwayne? Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. And Paul too. Like they're both very good storytellers.
It's true.
Andrew's just like,
And exactly, yeah. And
Not
we
a
went to
video
this
podcast.
We went to this place called Peaceful Noodle, and it was like the greatest Chinese food I've
Wasn't that
ever
your nickname in
had.
high school?
No,
peaceful.
that's a whole other podcast.
Okay.
But oh my goodness, yeah. So it was very, very fun. But you know what's funny is when you go out with Dwayne, any of the players that are out, they all come over because they all want to bug Dwayne.
Right.
And at one point we're sitting on a patio, and I'm like, there's somebody I can see in the window, and I look over and Greg Ellingson has got his hand up against the window trying to reach for Dwayne, and it was so funny. But had a great visit there, and then of course Thursday night was the game, and we got to
Great night.
Yeah, I mean, we got to sit and watch. Now, I had a little bit of a snafu at the beginning because they were able to get me a pass, but I had to go into I had to find which entrance I had to go in to get it.
Right.
So I missed like the first 4 minutes of the game. But then, I got to say, like, if they just had a few more people, like the environment is good. Like, it can get loud.
Yep.
And, now, I was a little upset that they didn't have the roof open because it was like a bloody sauna.
You and everybody
in
there.
Holy cow. Like, we're all just melting.
I think they're
Did you
just trying to
try?
melt the Eskimos. Is that what their
I don't know,
strategy
but it
was?
Holy cow, it was hot in there.
Did you try an Ultimate Burger?
No.
Oh,
did not.
come on.
No, but they had Okanagan cider there, and I was very happy about that.
Well, so there you go. That washes down the Ultimate Burger nicely.
Yes, I'm sure it does if somebody would have one. And
That's
then
pretty good.
I went down, so I was able to go down after the game Cliff was nice enough to get me down and then able to go into the locker room and catch up with some of the guys. And we'll play some of those as we talk about the game. But then I hung out afterwards and talked to a few of the guys. And it was great. And one of the highlights for me is I was coming back to my seat after halftime, and I look and I'm like, wait a second. You're Kenny Stafford's dad. They look so, oh my God, they're
Gene.
like 20 years apart twins. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, I got to meet Gene, and just such a nice guy. We had a great, and he was just laughing. He's like, all you people know me. I'm like, well, it's pretty hard not to tell who you are. But we had a great chat with him. And then after the game, I saw him and Kenny together, and it was just, they're just
Was that the
great
photo
guys.
he posted today?
Yes.
That was such a nice photo.
Yeah, it was awesome. So lots of really good highlights for that. And then the rest of the weekend, I was hanging out with my buddy and trying all different new types of Vancouver food.
Nice.
And
Have you never
it was
been to
great.
Vancouver?
No, I've been there a couple of times,
Oh,
but
okay.
not with somebody who like lives there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then
It's
they
different.
kind of exactly. They're like, oh yeah, you got to try this place and
All
it's
the
kinda
hot
fun.
spots.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a lot of
beautiful
fun.
city.
Great weekend. So yeah, I wrote the show this morning, waiting for the plane, and come home. Here we are. So
You flew home today?
I did. I flew home.
Oh.
Yeah, I got home at like 1:00 this afternoon.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so it's yeah.
Oh, I can see the C-tan.
Yeah, I know. Well, that would be because on the Friday I decided, I need to do my warm-up walk. So I did a 20-kilometer walk all the way
Nice.
around Stanley Park,
Yes.
which is awesome. But I did not bring sunscreen, so I'm still
Toasty?
suffering a touch. But that's all right. All right, we got to get to some Esks news and all these things, but this week I want to tell you we are brought to you by Park Power, an electricity and natural gas provider that's here in Alberta. Now, they provide low rates, awesome service, and profit sharing, actually, with local charities, which
Awesome.
I think that's very, very cool. I mean, who doesn't want to save money and help local charities at the same time? So you're actually able to, in Alberta, you can choose your provider. So Park Power has very low overheads, and that helps to kind of save money. So you can actually go right on their website. It's parkpower.ca, and you can plug in all of your numbers, and they'll give you their savings calculator and tell you how much you would save.
That's awesome.
And switching is super easy. So nothing changes as far as your service goes. It's just how much you're paying. So if you want to check that out, check it out at parkpower.ca, and you can do the calculator and get the switch started right there.
Perfect.
Awesome. So, Esks News, a couple of releases last week,
had.
and one for sure that was a little bit surprising. So, defensive lineman Darius Jackson,
Right.
who we were talking about a lot at training camp with pancaking people.
Down with the dairy eye.
I don't think we have a dairy eye
No.
left. Yeah, I think he was the last of the dairy eye.
The last of the dairy eye.
Is that like last of the Mohicans, but different?
Slightly different.
Okay. Wide receiver Bryce Bobo, who did
That's
have...
too bad. I thought he had a good
had
camp.
some great moments in camp. Yeah, I thought he would be that next PR guy that would come up,
Right.
right?
And his name's awesome.
It
Bobo.
is.
He was our second Bobo.
Is that right?
Yeah, we had a Philip Bobo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You would.
No
know
relation.
that. Yeah. I'm not going to fact check you, so I assume it's right.
That's right.
The more you bobo.
And now the last one, running back, the last of the short shorts, Jordan Robinson.
That is too bad.
That is
Yeah.
too bad.
Great
And
guy.
And his mom was in Vancouver as well, and actually stopped me as I was getting up to go for halftime. She's like, Andrew, and I'm like, oh hey, how's it going? And I'm
Mama
like, oh,
Robinson.
I'm really sorry. And
Yeah.
she says, I just think I'm bad luck for him. The first game I go to, he gets hurt, and the second game I go to, he gets cut.
No more going to games.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he can't be far off from either getting a chance
He'd
somewhere.
probably end up in the Lions like he... That
Well,
just seems
I mean,
like
that's
systematic for...
Definitely a possibility. I mean,
or again, if there's an injury, he could be the first callback.
absolutely. I mean, he's a running back, so he's probably ending up in Toronto, right? They sign all the
yeah,
running
yeah.
backs.
That's true.
Isn't that how that works? So, but I think, I don't think, I think he's just a call away if
Right.
something, we just
Just
had to
sad.
do some shuffle. So, yeah, but it is sad because we like Jordan. So,
It is.
hopefully he lands
And
somewhere.
his short
Yeah.
shorts.
Absolutely. Well, some of us like that more than others.
It's spectacular how he could pull it off.
Okay, that's,
Like, I can't even do that.
that's what it is.
Andrew does.
Let's not talk about the pull off. Okay, so Edmonton wins.
Yeah!
33-6 in the Lions' den.
Oh, what a good game to go
Hold
to.
them to. Oh, it was lovely. It was great. Not a lot of Lions fans were very happy I was there,
No.
but I was sure happy.
Did you see like the spatterings of Eskimo fans around the
Oh,
stadium?
absolutely. Yeah, there was quite a few.
Yeah.
Actually, there was quite a bit of green and gold around there, which was very cool.
Yep.
And we were sitting in a section where it was mostly tickets, like where Eskimo players had got their tickets.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay.
So we were sitting with a bunch of like-minded people, which was nice.
Friends and family.
Yeah, exactly.
Safety in numbers.
Well, it's kind of nice that way. Because, obviously some people were not very
Friendly.
happy. No, they were all friendly. Everyone was friendly.
Oh, well, that's good.
Had no run-ins whatsoever. Everyone was
There's
good.
usually that one person at a stadium, so it's good for you.
Yeah,
Get
I
a
know.
stink eye from Mojo.
Yeah, no,
From across with
but
binoculars.
I did finally get to meet
Yes,
Mojo.
I saw the picture.
And what a man! He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
Like we,
Just
it
like
was-
you expect.
Oh, absolutely. And we had a really good talk, actually, just briefly, but because he saw my tattoo, and of course, with him going through his cancer treatments,
Right.
and then me going through the whole back thing, we really had that talk of you really start to realize how much as you get frustrations in life, but it's really not
Yeah.
that big a deal because you're here
Yeah.
and you're able to do these things, right? So
That's awesome.
but it was awesome to meet him and catch up with Brian from BC Lions
course,
Den
yeah.
as well. So that was very good. But let's talk about the game.
Yes,
Jeremy,
let's.
we'll start with you. What was the good in the game for you? Because there's lots to pick from.
Yeah, it was just going to the defensive line to start. Like,
Absolutely.
just seeing them just constantly pounding them, putting Reilly down. Like, it was there was a constant pressure there. It didn't let him take his time to figure out how to get that ball deep.
Yes.
They were really limiting that game for him.
They were hungry.
Yeah.
Well, and if you think about like Mike Reilly's passing yards, that was our over-under last week, and it was way under.
Yeah.
Until that
Whoa.
last drive, it was like under 80.
Yeah. It's
Didn't
crazy.
he end with 83?
No,
He finished with 157.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
half
Yards
the
in
quarter
total.
was like 83 or something.
Yeah,
I saw
it could have been
83
that.
somewhere, and I was like,
Yeah.
And
a
then
burr?
he almost doubled it, and then that was it.
It was refreshing to see that kind of pressure constantly
Yeah.
put on them.
Well, and early, first drive, wham,
Yep.
right?
Two
Two and out with a big sack.
And ironically, it was Benavides on the TSN panel, so I was just like,
I know. Of all the people talking about blitzing, I'm like,
yeah.
okay, Benny.
Can you even spell blitz?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, best signing of the offseason, Philip Lawley.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his glass.
Yeah, I
Win.
think that's pretty much the case. So, yeah, the D-line ends up with 5 sacks in the whole game. So, if we, take out the roughing the passer ones, that's 16 sacks over 2 games. That's a lot of Mike Reilly hugs.
He's not going to be
It's a
happy
very
with
nice
that.
way to put it.
So, yeah, well, they really miss him.
Hugging.
Clearly.
Clearly. Absolutely. Commissioner, what do you got for goods for this game?
Come on now. We know you want to say it.
Oh, are you turning me down?
No, I'm turning it up because it wasn't getting...
You're like prepping for what I'm going to say.
getting for the excitement. Yes.
Of course, I'm excited for Robin.
Yes.
But the thing that really stood out to me was I found it really hard to pick a moment or to pick precisely what was amazing about this game because it was all amazing. Like, for the most part, it was a
Full team effort.
team.
Yep.
It was a team. For the love of God, we finally have a unified team, at least for that game, and I hope it continues on. But from coming off of the last 2 seasons and going into this, I just felt like exhilarated that I can say
Nice.
the Eskimos are a team on all 3 fronts. Like, bananas. Love it.
Yeah, each Bananas. I knew you were spelling it right.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to say it.
Bananas.
Bananas.
This could be such a long show. Okay.
Totally bananas.
Oh, God.
Totes.
Yeah, it's it really did seem like all 3 phases were firing, right? Superbad?
With the
Oh, no
leadership
question.
of
I mean, if you look at the splits, we had the time of possession in all 4 quarters.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
Well, and I think total time of possession, we had something like 13 more minutes or something.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the first quarter was the closest. I think we had like 7:35 or something, so just over. But after that, we just took over.
Yeah.
I loved seeing the special teams. This was the coming out party for Martese Jackson. We had some great starting positions for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally.
Martismo. All right, yeah.
A little soon? No.
And some great lanes for him to run, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were opening. I caught up with Adjei Gas after the game, and he's like, oh, like we were so close. He's like, I thought we were going to break 2, and then there was the penalty, and then the one that was just kind of died out at the end, but he's like, oh, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We're almost there. And, I mean, Martese had 15-yard average on punt returns, 26-yard average on kick returns, and those are...
starting close to midfield makes all the difference.
Absolutely. We were our average start, I think, was pretty close between the 35 and 40.
Yeah.
Which, if we can do that instead of inside our 20, we've always said that's a great... That's what the special teams need to do. And I thought they did a great job this game.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, you don't have to see Harris do a long bomb or have to do first down after first down after first down just to get to the half of the field.
Doesn't need to be conservative.
You can tell by just
inside
like
the
his
10.
throwing yards, right?
Yeah.
That he actually had some break time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, T-Sniper again, 22 of 28, 276 yards, 2 TDs. There we go. No turnovers.
Again.
No sacks.
Nice. He's had 1 sack in the season and no turnovers in 4 games. That's impressive.
Very impressive. Very, very impressive. So, yeah, I was very, very happy to see that type of performance, especially when he got hit there and we weren't sure if he was going to be coming back in.
How scared were you there?
Oh, very, very.
Oh, he needed the Rocky music playing, though, when he ran out just while the ball was in the air.
And it's like, yeah, here he comes.
Yep.
Yeah. And, no, I was... The fact that he just came out there and led after that was just... It was such a leadership move.
Yeah.
I was so impressed.
There's a new warrior in town.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd give him that name, though.
No.
Because he's a leader.
Yeah.
Like, did you just do 6 shooters?
Yes.
Is that what you did?
Not a video
There's
podcast.
only room for one of us in this town.
I thought you had an itch.
She might.
That was a weird...
Found the spider.
both sides
I found the spider.
Nice.
Yeah, no one knows what the spider is.
Yeah, but well, that's okay. We got the general idea. The other thing that I want to mention, as we're talking about guys coming in and just really impressing, Kyle Saxland
Yes.
having to come in for Matt O'Donnell. I think there was only a couple of plays where he looked like a rookie, but the rest, he just did amazingly.
They came right at him.
Yeah.
Right away, and he held his own.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the one pressure that got, like, when Harris did get hit, that was coming through Saxland,
right,
to some degree. But, overall, I was really, really impressed with what he did out there.
Fantastic draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah. And second round on a name that we just didn't know, right?
Those are the most exciting, I think.
Canadian.
Did you just throw up air quotes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's Singleton Canadian? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, oh, yeah. And then some.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. I was very excited about that. Anything else, you guys?
I don't know if we have anything.
Oh,
I'll just say it now. I actually had a short conversation with Coach Maxey.
Okay.
Just because the guys keep putting up Instagram stories of like their team bonding things that they keep doing. And it's whatever they do or whoever came up with this, I'm really hoping it's Moss, because he said like this year it's about the guy beside you. It's not about yourself. You do it for that guy. You don't do it for yourself. It's a culture of teamwork and unity, and whatever they're doing, it's working. Because I said, like, this is a team now, which is really refreshing. But to see the entire locker room bonding and doing these like activities outside of the room or inside the locker room or wherever, and seeing like those stories, but actually see those stories come to fruition on the field is miraculous. In other words, like there's just no other words coming from, not saying that last year's team was horrible, but you could tell it was an I team. It wasn't.
Me. Yeah,
it was
lots of
very
me. Yeah.
I, me, mine. Now. Like it was all about the one guy. It feels like these guys are actually in the trenches fighting for each other. Mm-hmm. And to see like the outside stories filtering in to the locker room, it gets me all fuzzy inside. Like it's so nice to see. I don't know. I get all emotional because I think that it's a family, right? So when I see sometimes like teams not getting along or not bonding or coming together, like that kind of breaks my heart because in my mind, a team is like a family. And that's how I think of like the entire CFL. So to actually see it happen.
Okay, I get it. Like they are playing for each other, and you can see it.
You can see it.
Yeah, as
completely
a full
different
effort,
mentality.
Right?
Yeah,
even a new guy coming in like Davaris, who makes a huge impact in his first game, but he wasn't out there every play.
Yeah,
and that's okay. He goes out there, does what he needs to do when he's out there, and then the next guy's got to come in, and it's Natey this week that's going over 100, right? Like it, and it's just that's fine.
I don't feel there's any like showboating.
Right.
Not that I don't enjoy it, but it's nice because it's again, you do your job, and that's it.
Absolutely.
And then when you finish doing your job, you can do a hula hoop.
We're going to talk about that in the fire truck section.
Excellent.
Okay.
Sometimes those are needed, though.
Sorry. So I just talked about Davaris. I just talked about Natey. I caught up with both those guys in the locker room. So let's hear what they had to say.
All right, we're joined by Davaris Daniels after his first actual game as an Edmonton Eskimo, and a big one as well. How does it feel to be on the field again?
It feels good, man. I've been waiting a long time to get back out there, and I'm just finally happy just to be out there competing and be out there with my teammates. And we came out with a win, so I couldn't be happier.
Absolutely. And now tell us about that catch for the touchdown, because oh my goodness, that was a brilliant dive down and pick up.
It was one where I just got a go ball, and Trev said, hey, I'm throwing it up no matter what. So he threw it, and I just had to find it, track it, and try to hold it in. Defender was right there, but when we have a mentality that ball's in the air, we got to come down with it. So it's I'm just happy to get my first one out the way, and now I can start playing.
It helps me too because I had you in fantasy, so that was lovely. Yeah, that's very good. So tell us a little bit about the connection with Trevor Harris, because it seems like it's kind of really been building since training camp when you've been able to be out and be on the field.
Oh yeah, that's amazing, man. Trev is a guy. We're building chemistry every week, and he comes out after practice, man. Just me and him, just doing the extra stuff, trying to get our timing down, and it's going to be something special for sure. We're still building on it, still the beginning, but it's definitely going to be something special.
Okay, now, other question I want to ask you is, you came to Edmonton as a free agent. What drew you to coming to Edmonton?
Honestly, it was just like the family feel I got when I walked into the building. I understood what they were trying to build here. I understood them not making the playoffs, and I wanted to be a big part of the reason why things turned around. And along with all of these guys that came in, we all had the same mindset, and it was a good match for everybody.
Awesome. Well, we're so glad you're here. Congratulations on a great game, and hopefully we'll catch up with you later in the season.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
Hey, get it, Brock. Okay. Yeah. That was excellent.
That was amazing.
Recording that. So, Natey, a huge game for Robin this game. Tell us about the huge 100-yard game.
Honestly, I knew this week it was possibly going to be my week just because of the plays we had in, and the focus has been so much on the other receivers, and they were bound to forget about me at some point. So I knew this potentially could be a good game. I was just getting ready for it mentally. I visualized it, and I told my wife this week that honestly, I think I'm going to have one of the biggest games of my career. I literally told her that, and so I was ready for it, and I'm happy it was able to play out like that.
That was awesome. Okay, now that touchdown, you made a couple of guys look silly on ankle breakers. What were you feeling as you kind of caught the ball and turned? Because it looked like it was going to be like 10, and then all of a sudden you break it.
So, Coach Moss, he saw something in film this week, and he knew that it would play out exactly like that. He's like, you're going to have a lot of space, so, do your thing. So that was just my mindset is TJ's been harping on me. He's like, man, you never make anybody miss. And I'm like, so he got me mad this week. I was like, all right, I'm going to show him. So blame CJ for that. So honestly, I just try to make something happen. The opportunity was there. I saw the hole, made one guy miss, and I saw the other guy was in a bad position, so I kind of just tried to stiff arm him. And next thing you know, I was by myself, and Kenny made the last block to kind of on AG to spring me, and I was able to just kind of score from there. And the only thing I was hoping is like my legs don't fail me, because that's my longest play. So I was like, I didn't know how my legs would react. But they made it, and I survived, and I was really happy about that.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit now. This again, your third year here. What's the feel on this team as compared to the other years?
Yeah, no, honestly, this is a completely different feel. We got a bunch of unselfish players that are just focused on team first, and that's really important. And it starts from the top down. Everybody's just about the team. And so if we win, everybody's happy. And we're closer than ever. Coach Moss will be doing a bunch of camaraderie stuff, trying to get the team as close as possible. And so far it's working. This is the closest team I've ever been on. And, it shows on the field, So, we play for each other. We love each other. And, it's working out so far.
That's awesome. Well, I know Kayla was jumping up and down.
That's my girl.
The Robin symbol was out. Yeah. Mary goes running down the field.
That's my girl.
So congrats on a great game, buddy. We hope to talk to you a bit more in depth later in the year.
I appreciate that. And, it's a good thing. I know I'm doing a good thing when you're interviewing me. So, hopefully we do it more often.
Oh, we sure will.
Thank you, man.
All right, those guys were awesome. It was great to be down there and chatting with them for sure. So now, any bad in this game? There's a lot less to pick up on, but anything that stood out that you think they need to correct?
It's really nitpicking at this point.
It
there's
really
not a ton of bad in there.
No.
Ooh,
penalties were way down.
Yeah, penalties we ended up with 9. I think it was 120 if I remember correctly. I will just look that up. I'm pretty sure I put it up there somewhere. Yeah, it was down. Yes, no, 12 penalties, but it was under 100 yards.
Right.
Yeah, so that's progression.
Yeah,
under 100
absolutely.
yards. We gave away less of a football field this time.
Right.
Yay.
Good. Yay. So it's kind of like a good. But yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's still a couple, but it wasn't horrible.
Like I said that. And there wasn't a whole lot that I looked at and said, "Oh, that's just bad. You got to stop that." The only thing that was bad was some of the injuries.
Right.
Seeing Ricky Collins go down, as well as Matt O'Donnell, and of course, T-Sniper.
Yes.
Is there any update on Collins?
Nothing for any of them yet.
No.
Well, Dave put something about O'Donnell. It does not looking good.
Oh, is that right?
Well, I know that on the coach's show, he said it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Right.
Moss said that, so.
Yeah. He was limping, but he was able to walk around at the end of the game.
Right.
So I'll take that as reasonable.
I'd say it's 6, my guess.
Yeah. It's entirely possible. Well, and a good thing we just said, Sackflin showed up and was great.
You might see Bond out there, we'll see.
Yep. Oh, that's entirely... Well, it depends on where they can find that other spot, right? So, yeah. I think if I had to... Again, you want to talk about nitpicking? Here's where I'm getting nitpicky. We only had 77 yards on rushing, but on 25 attempts.
I was say we still had all the attempts, and that's what really matters, right?
And that's the thing.
They keyed in on it.
Stuck to it.
Because Gable had a great game against them the first game.
Absolutely. So
they tried to make us one-dimensional. It didn't really work, and we stuck with it.
Yep.
And this just in, Milk Truck may miss a few too.
That's right. He was in
possible collarbone injury.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds about
Just
right.
put that an hour ago.
He was really, really wincing as he came off the field a couple of times there. So toughen it out through the game.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens.
Well, better to have it now, and he can come back strong and
near the end of it.
Yeah, hopefully our playoff rush.
Absolutely.
Yep, because it's gonna happen.
So now for the what the fire truck moment. Kwaku's sack celebration.
That was something. I'm like, Dad, there's no hula hooping in baseball.
I asked him after the game. I'm like, what the hell was that, dude? I'm like, that. I said, we were having a hard time categorizing it, and he said, what was the hula hoop? Like, I jumped into the hula hoop and then I was putting it around my hips. I said, he goes, no, I wasn't just humping the air. I'm like,
that's what it looked like.
Oh yeah, that was. I said, like. Let me tell you, we decided in the stands that it was the aftershocks of the Kwaku.
Let's go with that.
Kwaku. He's like, I think that's actually better.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get the whole jumping into the hoop and then hula hooping. It just it looked like he was going for like a little.
It was.
Crazy town.
That was really funny. Yeah.
It was
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we had an excellent laugh after the game. So thank you to Kwaku for that. That was good. That's
Yes.
funny.
Yep.
All right, player of the game. Now, for this one, Mike, who did you have picked for the poll?
I picked Martise Jackson.
Yes, you did. Kayla, who did you pick this game?
Oh, of course. Tay Robin.
Yes, absolutely. Robin, sign in the sky. And I went with Saxlid because I was so impressed with him coming off the bench and playing as well as he did. And then we threw Mondo in there because Mondo, I think, really set the tone.
Yep.
Like you said, Jeremy, the D-line, but Mondo just set the tone early on in this game, and he was making people look silly out there. So in the end, and I should put a little special mention there to Arjun Colhoun because I thought that was one of the best games he's played
had a great game
in green and gold.
Vontae had a great game.
Yep.
Jesse Joseph had a fantastic
Absolutely.
game.
Yep.
So many Canadians on the defensive side. Hoover had a good game.
Yeah.
Jesse Joseph, Kwaku, Arjun, like lots on the defense that did really well. So I was really happy with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whatever they had for dinner before that game, just do it again.
I don't know, but I think they had Mike Reilly for lunch.
Burn. That was lovely. That was very good. Anyway, winner of player of the game for this week is Martise Jackson by popular vote. Just beating out Natey Adjei within a couple of
great
points.
winners for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, both very well deserving.
Any of them, really.
This is all just for bragging points anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I'm
But
sure
anyway,
that they do it in the locker room. It's like, did you hear the podcast? I won.
I won, yeah. I'm going to ask them that next time. Do you know who won player of the game? Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'll ask Martise first. Yeah. All right, let's take a really quick break. We'll come back with our CFPN game preview, this week's Pick'Ems and Fantasy picks, and of course, lots more with Jeremy.
What's up, y'all? It's Larry Dane, and you're listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my picks on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show.
Welcome back. A reminder again that we are part of the Alberta Podcast Network. I've been previewing some shows or talking about some shows for the last few weeks. This week, I want to tell you about a fun movie podcast called Emily Missed Out. And when I first read that, I thought, what? That's kind of an odd name. And I thought, okay, well, let me see what this is. Now, it features Emily and Brianne, and they watch classic pop culture movie gems that Emily has never seen.
Nice.
And then they discuss it and talk about whether Emily actually missed out or it was like it was okay to miss it.
Nice.
Right? And they've got, the last few episodes they had like A Few Good Men, Super Troopers, Spaceballs, like all ones that we were like, oh, okay, you know the movie because we're all nerds. So we all know what those are. But then hearing somebody who had never seen them go, okay, well, this was a good one or this was not a good one. Like, does it actually hold up, right? So kind of a neat twist on a podcast.
Yeah.
So check them out. You can check out, of course, all the other great shows as well at albertapodcastnetwork.com. That's albertapodcastnetwork.com. I always want to do the repeat because it's fun. .com. That's right.
Sounds super
Are there
important.
any gems you've never seen?
Any that I've never seen?
Yes.
You know, one that it took, well, it was a long time before I saw it. What was the
Cocktail?
No, I saw that one fairly early on. Yeah, I don't know.
I've never seen Pretty in Pink. I've never seen 16 Candles.
16 Candles was the one I was going to say. I had never seen that.
I still haven't.
Still haven't seen it.
No, I've never seen either of them.
Okay. And what's the one? I'm going to get, my nerd card is getting torn away from me. What's the one with Harrison Ford with the replicants?
Blade Runner?
Blade Runner.
Wow.
I did not see that forever, and then I did finally see it, but it was way later, right? So, and it was like, okay.
Losing some nerd cred.
I know.
How far back are you talking as far as like
Metropolis. 20s.
That's that way.
Yeah, that's
not that way.
Like, which ones have you not seen?
Well, Well, I'm thinking like old black and whites.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Well, there's a bunch of those I haven't seen.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
But like
I haven't seen
Seven
that one
Angry
yet.
Men. I've always wanted to see it, and I still haven't.
Oh, you still have? Oh, really?
I hear it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
12 Angry Men?
Yeah. Oh, is it 12? Yeah, 12 Angry Men.
Yeah,
That would
it's
make
about a
sense on a
jury.
jury.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
They
I was
could-
thinking
Few
of Seven
Good Men, though.
Monkeys
You've
or whatever
seen
that
that,
other
though.
one is.
Yes.
What is it? Seven Angry...
What? 7 Angry
It's
Monkeys?
still 12
That's
monkeys.
a completely different...
12 monkeys.
12 monkeys.
No, there's another one.
Seven
God, I hate you
Samurai?
guys sometimes.
Seven Samurai.
No.
Yeah, that's one.
No.
There's another...
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
The one, that old black and white one.
With a 7.
12
With a
Angry
7.
Men.
12 Angry Men.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. Anyway, lots of fun. Check out that podcast. Go back to that. There we go. Let's get to our preview. Now, the Esks take on a streaking now Montreal. We're playing in Montreal at 2 p.m. on Saturday. The Uncle BD stats moment for this one. The Esks are on an 11-game winning streak against Montreal.
Let's make it 12.
I sure hope so. And CJ Gable needs 104 receiving yards for 2,000 in his career.
Attaboy.
So he's not far off. Now, he doesn't do as much when the receiving every game, but, it's in the next couple of games.
Just feed him.
Absolutely. That's perfectly fine. Let's start with the Owls side of the ball, and for that we go to our CFPN game preview. And of course, you can check out all the shows on cfpodnetwork.ca. This is the second meeting with the Owls, so we decided to bring in a podcaster from one of the league shows. Now, he's also, of course, part of the Alberta Podcast Network on the 2 and Out podcast, and he's Taylor Loeffler's biggest fan. It is the one and only Brazilian Ty. How's it going, man?
Very good. And yourself?
Good. How's things in the 2 and Out world?
Busy.
Yeah.
It seems that, I get a weekend off and I decide that I'm going to party, and then I spend all day Sunday doing stats and preparing for a show that Travis wants to do at 2 p.m. when I am in no shape to do a show at 2 p.m.
It's perfect.
Which, makes the show that much more entertaining. So we appreciate that.
I do what I can.
Excellent. Now, we're gonna lean on you a little bit for the Owls side of the ball, because I know you've got the stats and all those types of things. But I just want to ask you up front, because it always seems that the Esks meet the Owls right after some type of major shakeup. I mean, it was the week of the Manziel trade we played them. The week after Sherman got fired, we're playing them, and now Cavis is gone, and here we're playing them again. What do you kind of think of the timing of the Cavis firing, and just kind of as the Owls are starting to get on a roll?
Well, on its surface, it looks weird, and it looks kind of bad that they go on this 2-game winning streak, and that's when they decide to drop the axe and get rid of Cavis. But more and more stuff is starting to come out, and Boivin said, I believe it was today or yesterday, it was in the Gazette in Montreal, that it wouldn't have mattered if this team was 4-0 or if they were 0-4, that Cavis was getting let go because of the information they got. Okay. So I get that point where it was kind of a toxic relationship with what was kind of found out and stuff like that. But it does, on its surface, it looks really, really bad. It just looks like more of a dumpster fire than it already was, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's tough in Montreal, hey?
Yeah. Oh, I should tell you, the Montreal swear jar applies on this show too, just so that you're aware.
Guys, I got a mortgage payment now. I don't know
Good luck with
how much money I can be putting into this.
So, I mean, the big shift in Montreal is the fantasy giant, and I really shouldn't be talking about fantasy, but of course, Stanback has been playing outrageous right now. So now that there's more film, do you see him continuing that high production, or are teams going to be able to figure him out, do you think?
I think teams are eventually going to figure something out against William Stanback. How long that's going to take, I don't know. It's not the biggest sample size right now. But if you look at what he's done on the ground, 76, 78, and then the big game, and the second game there against Hamilton with 203, and was still able to get 100 yards last week, although be it against an Ottawa defense that hasn't really shown that they can stop very many teams. Like Saskatchewan was able to put 41 on them and still lost the football game. But I mean, he is becoming somewhat of a dual threat as well. Like, he's had games where he's been close to 40, 50 yards in receiving as well. And the only thing that I can see happening is that teams are just going to tee off on the run. and try to stop that, because the receiving options in Montreal aren't, I would say they're below average. I know we talked the praises up of BJ Cunningham as the speedster, and Quan Bray has really emerged here in the last couple weeks as a very viable fantasy option. But if teams are going to try to make you win a game with one aspect, and if they can stop William Stanback, they got a really good chance of trying to make Vernon Adams throw the ball. That being said, if you're going after William Stanback and he doesn't get the ball, Vernon Adams is very likely to, if he can get past that first level of defense, to hurt you that way too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I mean, he's averaging in these 4 games, his average is 114. Wow. So that's pretty decent. But I think, like Mike said, with the more film that comes out on him, teams are going to be able to figure out ways to stop him. And I don't think 100 yards is a pretty good night. And I mean, that was after the 203, so Ottawa definitely had film. But I mean, just the way he runs and the talent that they are starting to amass on that offensive line in Montreal is going to be a big factor as well as to how well Stanback can perform throughout the year.
So we're talking about Stanback, the running back, and not Stanback, the owner of the Stampeders?
Yeah, no.
Joe.
Stanback, the retro.
Yeah. I do my research.
Well done.
So the Owls defense is starting to really stack up on those turnovers. Is that the Loeffler effect?
Considering he's only played 2 games, I don't know how big of an effect it is.
You can be a little biased.
Shocker, Winnipeg is +8 in first place in the league. Yeah. So, I mean, at some point that's going to stop, and we say that every week on our show. I don't know if it's the Loeffler effect or it's just they haven't played, I don't want to say they haven't played the greatest opponents. I mean, they played Hamilton twice, Edmonton, and Ottawa. Hamilton hasn't surprised me with what they've done. Last week was pretty pitiful and kind of just lent it. Their offense wasn't good last week. I mean, what did Masoli have? Under 200 yards. Mm-hmm. But the additions that they've made with Mwamba in the middle, we've seen him be a huge factor, especially on goal line stands.
Yeah.
By himself.
Yeah.
And Loeffler in the 2 games he has played has been a big piece of that defense as we expect. The guy's a 3-time All-Star. I don't know if it's sustainable with everybody they have, but I mean, guys like Tommy Campbell have proven that they can play in this league too. And I know we crap on Kavis Reed a lot, but he did make some really good additions on the defensive side of the ball. And I think just as a whole, it's starting to come together, and they're starting to win turnover battles, which is something we didn't really see in the past.
Awesome.
What's the keys to the Owls beating the Eskimos this week?
Oof. Well,
who are you? I'd say who are you picking, but I think we know. But still,
do you?
No.
Do you know?
No.
I think Edmonton's defense right now is probably the best. When you look at where they're at for pass yards per game and rush yards per game, Montreal's got to find a way to move the ball down the field, and they have to protect the ball. I mean, they are +8 turnovers. Edmonton's at +2, so there's a little bit of a difference there. Time possession's really even. I think Montreal needs to pound the ball on the ground and wear out that front 7 for the Eskimos and really take the fight to them and open up everything else for Vernon. We've seen Vernon Adams absolutely tear it up when he gets the opportunity. So if they can pound the ball inside and start to wear down that defense and control the football, and of course you are playing the team that has the most penalties and most penalty yards in the CFL. So if you can run right at them and hopefully get some boneheaded penalties and help you move the ball down the field, even more the better.
That's a good analysis, actually.
I can't argue with it.
Well,
we don't want that to happen, but we know what you're saying.
You guys wouldn't.
Yeah, that's right.
My bank account will be greatly appreciated.
Excellent. Nice. Now, of course, everyone can tune in to 2 and Out this week, kind of hear your fantasy picks and your Pick'Ems. Where do they find the show, and where do they find you online and all those types of things?
Well, you can find me at Brazilian_Ty on Twitter, and then we also have the 2 and Out podcast account. We have the website now at twoandout.ca. I've been posting all the fantasy numbers on there as the weeks go, just for each kind of individual matchup. And then we're basically on every podcatcher, I believe, Podbean, the iTunes podcast app, all that stuff. And then we post the links on Twitter and on the website as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this, man. We appreciate you, subbing in as an Alouettes correspondent for this particular evening. Hey, we always love the laugh. So thanks and keep up the great work on 2 and Out, man.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm going to go to bed because I got to get up at 4 a.m. So I am out of here.
Well, okay. Well, do you want to chat more? Or? So staying for our fantasy picks? No, I'm kidding.
I'll give you to my secretary.
Oh,
your mom?
Whoa.
All right, you moved up.
That's well played.
That's fair. She is my house cleaner.
Well, thank you to Brazilian Ty. That was a lot of fun, and always fun to get a little dig there on each side before we finish off.
Exactly.
Let's go to the Esks side of the ball. So let's talk about keys to victory to beat down the Alouettes. Jeremy, let's start with you. What do you think the Eskimos got to do?
Again, I really want to see that defense push hard and bring that fire that they've got, that energy that they brought this season has just been tremendous, and I think that's what's going to stop them, because we can rely on the offense to put some points on the board, whether they're kicks or they are touchdowns. But if we can just stop their game completely, that it's going to make for great football, and it's going to give us the win.
Yeah, that front seven's got to be on fire.
I
Absolutely.
Like
Commissioner?
Well, we got to take on the stand back and keep him at arm's length, and don't let him get past you, and don't let him get a touchdown or several. Yeah, just really, like you said, for the defensive line, I'm thinking more of the secondary, and really putting Vernon on the edge and kind of messing up his throws. But when Sandbeck does get through that line, that those guys in the secondary are gonna hold their own and really start watching for the run game, because I think that is where they're probably going to
crash down and support.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, nope, 100% agree. Super fan.
I think I'm going to go the other side of the ball and say the offense. We need to see some. This is the first game, this last game, where we scored a touchdown in the opening frame. So I think we need to do that again. If you can score early, and especially if you can score often, then they're going to have to abandon the run,
right?
Or at least certainly put it back until they can try and get in. So that's going to take Stanback out of the game. So I'd like to see the Eskimos definitely push more on offense to start this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest keys, too, again, is one of the things that hurt us against Montreal in week 1 was those silly penalties.
Yeah.
And if we can find a way to minimize those, I think we have a much better chance of having that, the power swing in our favor. So I'm going to go with, I know we've said it many times, but just reel in those penalties again.
Yep.
If we can keep that, if we can keep having that reduced down instead of, this game, I think it was 90 something. Next game, it's 80 or 70 something.
Let's go with that.
Backwards.
Just keep going the right way.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal for this team.
We got to know that they're going to be bringing that too. They're going to be pushing buttons, trying to draw those penalties.
Absolutely.
Gotta be smart.
Yeah.
Smart
so
football.
just turn and walk
Let
away.
them focus on that, and we can focus on scoring.
Yeah. I like that. Players you're watching, super fan?
I'm always watching CJ Gable.
No kidding.
What?
I'd love to see. I'd love to see them just keep feeding him all season long.
Yeah.
Let's take that rushing title again this year.
All right. Sounds good. Jeremy?
When he was playing for Ottawa, I hated Ellingson. I saw that name and I'm just like, I want to put you in the grass. Like, I'm done with you. Now I'm like Ellingson fan, man. Like, I'm just like, yeah, look at this guy. This guy's amazing. So I like that. He's not really showboating when he makes that play. He just puts that ball down and says, yeah, I did that. Let's move on. Let's do it again.
Awesome.
I really appreciate that. style of player.
Mm-hmm.
Then like I get the celebrations and stuff, but
Yeah.
he just keeps it real and can make those plays. Like, holy crap! Like, I don't know if he's got Velcro on his hands or what, but
he's the second down conversion machine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Sticky hands.
It's a good pick. Excellent pick.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's a tough one. I just like want to watch everyone be like, "Are you doing your job? You doing your job? You doing your job? Good
Quality
job.
control.
Good job. Quality control." Yeah.
High fives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna do a fun one. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch Lolly's Glasses to see if they.
Okay, somebody tell me what I didn't watch the video, so
It was okay. Hang on. Let me emulate it.
You got the old secretary glasses going on.
it's way
Just the tip
down
of the
there.
nose, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's all you have to do.
Push them up.
Push them up. Push them up.
Push-ups.
Yeah.
can we create a Twitter account, Lolly's Glasses?
Oh, probably.
There you go. Come back on Twitter as Lolly's Glasses.
Yeah, that'd be.
No, I think I'm gonna watch the O-line. I can't really pick a player, but I'm guessing now with Dave's tweet that O'Donnell's gonna be out. So I want to see how they're gonna perform again, and if this can be a repeat and a thing to look forward to, and not kind of a one-off, especially with Saxlett. I'm very curious to see, because I know for me, my first year at the podcast was always like, O-line.
Yes.
But last year, I didn't really talk about the O-line. So now I'm really curious to see if this is going to continue on and strengthen, and how they'll do without O'Donnell.
All right. That sounds, because O'Donnell's a leader on that line too. So that's it's
Very
definitely a huge spot
Some
to
big
watch.
pads to fill.
Yeah. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. With some of the different things that they've said, and I mean we've touched on everything, but I think we are really close to getting that kick return.
Yep.
I think we're so close. So I'm really going to be. I'm not even so much watching Martise as I'm watching the blocking.
Yeah.
And just seeing if we can actually, because Montreal has pretty good cover teams, but I think if you can just get. If you just find the right blocking scheme to get around that corner, if they're finally starting to put it together, I'm really excited to watch and see how they do that. So I'm going to go that way.
When you were at the Lions game, did it look like Martise was dropping back as far as it did on TV? Sometimes when he was returning it, I was like, no, don't go that way, wrong way, come back.
Yeah, it always looked like he was just taking the lane that was open to him.
Okay, because sometimes on the TV I was like, no,
like which way are you going?
Stop going back. But then he would outrun them, so it was fine.
That's the thing. He would stop and then he'd turn around and go back. But the thing is all the blocking he had seen as he was cutting across the fields, and then he would turn and just go over.
Yeah.
And usually that's what makes that one guy miss, right? If he can make one guy miss, he can get a
And that's
ways.
the thing, if he can,
But
because
if-
generally when people reverse and go backward, it doesn't work out so well.
Yeah,
but
He's
it
got
looked
some
like
wheels, though.
he was outrunning a lot of those. That's why I thought last week's game was going to be that return kick.
Yeah,
but
so it's
shucks.
Yeah, we're close. We're close.
We could see them get that extra 15, maybe even 20 yards.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
Something we
and
wouldn't get before.
we'll take it.
Bring the block.
Nice. Wow, that was almost a full spit take. Outstanding.
It's coming.
Oh, I'm excited.
Like the kick return touchdown.
Yes,
It's coming.
it's coming. That's right. Yeah. All right. Now, of course, we do our Esks stats that we bet on, kind of over-under bet. Now, Jeremy, you're our guest. Do you have one that you want us to set a line on, or did you want me to pick one?
You go for it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I decided to pick this week. So our defense has been on fire for the past few weeks. So this week we are going to go with Montreal points scored.
Okay.
And the over-under is going at 19.5.
Interesting.
So does Montreal score 20 or more points, or are they under 20 points? Superfan.
I think it's going to be under.
All right.
I think that I think they're going to focus on stand back. I think they're going to make them one-dimensional.
Okay.
And I don't think Adams is quite no Pipkin.
You don't think so?
No.
I think Adams is better than Pipkin.
Well, we'll see.
How dare you?
That's what I think.
I like both.
Yeah. Adams has really impressed the hell out of me. So, yeah.
We will see.
We will see. Jeremy?
16 is sticking in my head.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to go under.
I think it's under.
All right.
Oh,
Commissioner?
Man. I think it's going to be in the low 20s.
Okay.
Just above, you said 19.
I said, 19 and a half. So it's either do they hit 20 or do they not?
I'm going to say, yeah.
You're going to say over.
I hate saying over because it's like 0.5.
So, I know, but it could
just
be. Yeah.
slightly, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that they're just enough that they'll sneak just over it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because every week it's been the opposite, and I'm fine with that. So that's good.
You did the sacks one well.
What's this?
When it was 2.5 sacks.
I did get the 2.5. You're right. Yeah,
That's
I did
true.
get that one. But slightly over is fine, just not a lot over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Slightly over is fine.
Makes for a good game.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it better
It's
when my
a
team blows
great
the other
game.
team out.
Really?
I like that.
that
Yeah,
Otto-
I'm
that
okay with that
Argos
if it's my team winning by that much. I'm fine.
That was the biggest margin of
Right.
victory for Jason Moss coached team.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
It's also the fewest points allowed.
Yeah. Well, that one that one I can understand. Yeah.
Yet there are still people who
Come on, 0. That's right. Yeah. Come on, D.
Negative points.
That's right.
Imaginary numbers.
When is his 6 up? Just a curiosity. Anyone
What's
know? 0? You number?
What is-
Oh,
6 game?
Yeah, 6 games. So he has another couple games anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, at
it took you
least
so
because he
long.
played a couple of games.
He played one,
One.
didn't he?
Yeah.
It was in the first game that he got hurt.
Right, but
I'm
I don't
pretty
think
sure.
he's put on the
And
next
this
week.
is 5.
So, you think it was one game for? I thought he went right to the 6.
We'll see.
Yeah. So then that would be that's 3 games. So we should have
3 more.
3 more.
Feels like waiting for Christmas.
But you know what though? The thing is though, I think if he's ready, I think they'd pull him off early.
Yeah, but I mean, Brian Walker's done great.
I guess he's
yeah,
been
I mean,
very well,
it's
so-
not suffering, but he was my
And
random.
Vontae?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not taking Vontae out of there. There's no way.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Gonna be interesting.
High class problem.
Absolutely. All right. In our Pick'em League for the rest of the games, now TXA is sitting first right now. I'm sitting 43rd, and Mike, you're 39th.
Yeah.
So you're higher than me.
That's where it should be.
Actually, it's not bad because there's 106 people in there. So
That's not bad.
Seriously, we're not doing horrible.
No.
We're still above the line of half.
Average.
Above the fold. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we're above average. Yeah.
Yay!
I've always wanted to be above average.
Mom was
Yeah,
right.
you did it.
That's right. Mom was right. Nice. Okay, other games this week. Toronto versus Calgary. This one is in Calgary. Do I even need to go around the table?
You could.
Is anyone picking Toronto?
Maybe their moms.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right.
Even
so
then.
sad.
Yeah, not all of their moms.
Can you
Maybe a few of them.
imagine though? Oh,
Let's go. Let's. Do
I'd
it,
like to
let's,
imagine.
Let's do it this way. We're all going to say the same. How much does Calgary win by? Commissioner.
not as much as Winnipeg.
Okay, so but how many then?
I don't know. 15.
Okay,
With that
fair.
damn Rouge.
Yeah, nice.
Right?
Could be 5 field
Jeremy,
goals.
A major.
major 7 points. Okay,
I think it's higher than that. I think it's going to be like 18.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I had 10 in my mind, so I'm going to go with 10. All right, that makes it a little bit different. We'll see
There
where
you
we
go.
end up.
But just for the record, we'll hope for Toronto, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's Calgary. Of course, we're
Well,
hoping for Toronto.
You never know.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
might be like demon infested.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Hamilton fans. That's basically it. That's the only ones cheering on Calgary.
That's right.
But why at this point?
Yeah. All right. Ottawa versus Winnipeg. This one in Winnipeg. Jeremy, you get to go first.
Back in Winnipeg. Wow.
I'm going to say it's probably going to be Winnipeg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tons, or do you think it's close?
No, I think that one's going to be a closer one. I think
Okay.
they've had enough blowouts. They're good for a while.
Okay. Excellent. Superfan?
No, I think it's going to be a much higher score.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's. I think Winnipeg's going to take this one and going away.
Okay. Yeah, I think Winnipeg wins as well. I just think they're on a roll, and Ottawa's going the opposite direction at this moment. The community offensive calls are not panning out nearly as well as they did in those first few games. So, sorry, Mouchoir. Go.
Sorry, Rod.
Winnipeg's going to win. Yeah. I don't like it. If Ottawa wins, I'd be quite happy because
Yes.
it puts us a little bit closer. So,
It's
Kayla?
Ottawa. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm. Yeah.
Tired. Yes.
I just don't want them to go 5-0.
Yes.
Screw you, Winnipeg.
All right. That's
But it's better than Calgary.
it. Is.
No,
It's
they
not
all
for some
suck.
people, but yeah, they all suck.
Oh, I'm happy
All right.
to see another team win in Calgary.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Except for this week,
Let's find out next week.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes. BC versus Saskatchewan, and it's in the wheat fields.
Oh dear.
It's in the Bermuda Rectangle.
That's right. Super fan?
Dear.
This is like the toilet bowl.
Almost.
Two team, one ween in
between
yes.
them. Thank you, Dr. Seuss.
1 win teams. It's gonna be tough. I think Saskatchewan's gonna beat BC. I don't think BC's had a great game. Even their win was
kind of.
Yeah. Thank God for the Rouge.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going Saskatchewan?
I'm going Rectangle.
All right. I actually have to look up because I know I picked it earlier, and I don't want to be wrong like I was last week. So I'm gonna look it up. While I look it up, Kayla.
Oh, I think I actually went with BC. Not saying I'm gonna be right, but I feel like there's just gonna be like a point in which they're gonna get so frustrated, like that's it, we're gonna win. So I really hope it's against Saskatchewan. Like that'd be just great.
Yeah,
and they tie.
That's what I did.
Oh,
I went with BC.
What
Yeah,
about
I
they?
thought I
Not
did
by
go with
much.
BC, but I couldn't remember. But I have BC by a sliver.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think that sooner or later, Mike Reilly is like,
Yep.
I'm not losing anymore.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. You could see it.
Oh, he'll lose at least one more.
Oh yeah. We got one more game
but
against
that's
them. I meant
right
you
now.
know, in a row. That's what I meant.
Okay.
You
He's
could
still
just
going to lose
see it.
more, yes, but just
Excellent.
not in a row. Yeah. So I'm gonna sneak out with BC. Jeremy.
Going for the tie.
Oh, he's calling the tie.
I would love for you to be right.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
That
All right.
would be the best for
I'm gonna
everything.
you're gonna get a special plaque in the turf district if it is a tie.
Called the tie.
Called the tie. Jeremy
Just
called
an
the
actual
tie.
tie.
That just as a tie.
A green and gold tie.
Green and gold tie
I've
with
got one.
Jeremy down the middle. Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah.
I will absolutely do that if the tie comes. I love it. All right, CFPN Fantasy League. So I moved up to 5-0 after
didn't.
a win over Sheldon. You had the closest loss I have ever seen, like 0.3.
Like it was the end of the game.
Yes,
that he passed me.
it was the last play, basically.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my
0.3?
God. Yeah, he lost by 0.3 of a point.
Maybe like 3 yards.
Not even a
reception.
Rouge.
Yeah.
Or a
It
run,
was
I mean.
so brutal.
Yeah.
So brutal. I was like, oh, man, it was so close.
I know.
Well, this week I get Travis, so from 2-0 with his fantasy prowess. I do not know if I will continue my streak, but
We will
I'll
see.
give it my best shot. You get Safamon.
Yeah.
You guys are both 2 and 3.
We are.
So somebody's getting back to 500.
Got to stem the bleeding. Maybe we'll tie.
Maybe we'll tie. If you called that tie, you'll get a tie too. Yeah,
Sweet.
You get a tie, and you get a tie, and everybody
Ties
gets
for
a
everybody.
tie. That's right. Yes.
We had Ty on the show.
Yeah, and we had tie on the show. See,
It'd be appropriate.
Everyone gets a tie. That's right. We could put, actually, it could be TIE and then TY and then TY. It's perfect.
Do we need to ask his mom first?
Okay. I don't know. She's the secretary. So make sure, yes, follow all of that fun. We're doing that on Twitter. You'll see us post all the standings and, of course, who we're playing and a little back talk here and there. Make it lots of fun. In our league for the show, I'm now up to 6th. You're a touch down the list.
A little bit.
Yeah, little bit. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the top 1,000,000.
You are, sure.
So there we go.
Yes. Above average.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh,
for our group.
I thought you were.
I don't think we have that many people.
All right.
Thank God for the bell curve.
Yeah.
We love it. Now, the leader in that is Dr. John Miller.
He's a professor. That doesn't count.
I know. It's like not fair.
Cheater.
Any picks you're watching this week?
Like I'm going to tell people at this point they'll lose. Come on.
Maybe you could have disguised it as good information and then it would have helped you.
Oh, that's true.
See?
Like I've talked to people that convinced someone else to not take Lucky Whitehead this last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a good idea.
Oh, you are magical.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of power.
I don't have that.
Just take credit. I'm not going to know any
That's
different.
true.
Yeah. You could have
I'm far
totally
too
done that.
honest.
All right. I have to say I was very impressed that my last minute change to get the Eskimos defense in, that did very well. 18
Yes.
points of a defense was.
I'll take it.
I
That's
was
what I do.
pretty happy with that.
That's what saved
I
me.
think this week we can all agree you just pick Stampeders.
Yes.
we're all going to be Ryan Ballantyne this week. Yeah, just load up your line
Why would you
with
say that?
Stampeders. They're going to
Take a long
score
shot.
points like
Oh,
crazy.
I'm not in fantasy.
Yeah, they're going to score like crazy. All right. This is fun, guys.
Yeah.
Jeremy, thank you for coming down and being part of the show.
Thanks again.
Can anybody connect with you on any social media at all?
No, I've gone silent.
You've gone silent.
No. Actually, I'm running a new account, ATL Builds.
Awesome.
New company I'm working for.
Perfect.
Excited.
Excellent. Same construction type thing?
Same commercial, light industrial construction.
Awesome.
Little bit of boutique style construction where we're very particular about our client and
Awesome.
making sure that we're only maxing out at a certain number of jobs per year, so that we can really give that attention to the clients. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, we're really excited about how it's going to shape up, and the year's already looking really good. So
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Great.
ATL Builds.
Perfect. See, we had to find you somewhere. So
Yep.
that's awesome. Commissioner, where does everybody find you?
Oh, gee. At Duchess Lombardi.
Excellent.
She wrote it on her hand.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Super fan?
At 56 Parky.
You wrote it on your glasses?
Yeah, I did.
So you remember?
Wrote it on your forehead.
Oh, perfect. As it should be. I mean,
Right.
I should walk around that way. You can find me at Freepalicious, of course, the show at Esk Empire Pod. Make sure you're following Pay It Forward with Football on Facebook. Get those nominations in. And they now actually have T-shirts as well that say Pay It Forward with
Yeah, look
Football.
good.
$20, and it helps to support that great cause. So make sure that you grab those out. Of course, make sure you check out all of the great shows on the Alberta Podcast Network. You can find that at albertapodcastnetwork.com. And while you're online, you can check all of our social channels, and you can find those on eskempire.ca.
We also have shirts.
We do have shirts. We have Feel the Earthquake shirts.
That's
And
right.
if you watch the Periscope this week, you can see the twins wearing them.
That's true.
Out.
Twinsies.
Nice. We will be back next week to talk about another big Esks defensive performance, and it may be more of some hostful fun.
Oh, exciting.
Those are we're
I'm
gonna,
out.
We're going to do those like once a week, just for or once a
Once a
month.
week.
Once a month.
All
once
the
a month.
time.
Once a week. Yeah, Jeremy, get out. No, we're going to.
Totes excited.
Good Lord.
Absolute.
So, why
Whatevs.
Why are you all doing this? Just to watch me cringe? All
Yes,
right.
that is exactly why.
It's working.
You didn't
All right.
wear a damn cowboy hat. Suffer.
Nice. All right. Well, are we ready to have the Esks stop the Owls' winning streak?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I failed.
That's so wrong. For Jeremy, Commissioner Kayla, and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.